Copy 724, right. Descend and maintain 2000.
Descend and maintain 2000, 724.
Comment 504, descend and maintain 3000. 3000, comment 504.
In this video, we're going to be covering currency requirement, and this currency doesn't have to do anything with the money. This is about what things are needed and what are the requirements for a pilot to be up to the par and he is current. So the first one we want to cover is what are the requirements to remain current as a private pilot. So the first one is that within the preceding 24 months you need to do a flight review. This test is not a pass or a fail test. It's basically the person you're doing the flight review with is gonna endorse you that yeah, he's good and he is basically they say that you are good to fly, and that's called the biennial flight review. That's the first one, right? Then the second one is in order to carry the passengers. So this is the only requirement you need to be current. Like every 2 years, within 24 months, you need to do a BFR, biennial flight review. The second one is if you do want to carry the passengers, right, within the preceding 90 days, right, in order to carry the passengers in last 90 days, what you should have done is 3 takeoffs and landings as a sole pilot, manipulator of the flight controls, right? So basically what it means is you're gonna be flying solo, and you're gonna be doing 3 within the 90 days. You're gonna be doing 3 takeoffs and again, if you take off, you better land. Okay, so 3 takeoffs and landings, right? And again, this needs to be in the same category and class, and and also goes with the type rating, right? But yeah, even if you're an instrument rating pilot, it needs to be in the same type and the same class to fly the passengers in the instrument rating. Okay, but if the aircraft is like a tailwheel airplane, so the landings must have been made to a full stop in a plane with a tailwheel. So these ones which are not like a tailwheel, you don't have to, you can actually touch and go. You can land and then you can take off right away. You don't have to make a full stop. But if the aircraft is tailwheel, the landing must have been made to a full stop, right? And the last one is if the operations are conducted during the period beginning 1 hour after sunset and 1 hour before sunrise, the passengers on board within the preceding 90 days made at least 3 takeoffs. So basically what we are saying is if you want to do the night flying, right, those takes off and the landings needs to be at the night time. Okay, yeah, these are the main ones. Okay, now let's go to the second one. So the instructor can ask you that like you haven't logged a lot of things on your logbook, so are you in the violation of any regulation? So the answer is that no, we are not. uh, Even if we are not, if we're flying and we are not logging it on our logbook, it is not a violation of any regulation. It's up to you, but you only log, you are like expected to log when you are like when there is when you are trying to meet a requirement for a certificate, any rating, or any flight review. So logging is uh, like optional. Okay. Okay, let's move to third one, which is gonna be that. So let's say if you are flying in if you are in a flying in an airplane which is a single engine airplane which is high performance, right? It could be a complex airplane, it could be a tailwheel airplane, right? And you just hold the, you do not have the endorsement for that, but another pilot who is also in the plane has an endorsement, and like he's acting as a pilot in command. Can you log your pilot and command time for that airplane, which is a complex airplane? So the answer is yes. So logging uh, for complex airplanes as pilot and command. So what happens is like you can log in, although the other person, the other pilot, is pilot in command, but you can log in your hours while you were in the pilot in command for that airplane, although you do not have a complete like an endorsement for it. So you can actually work your time to get that, you can log that time in order to get an endorsement in the future. But you can, although you cannot act as a pilot in command uh, like solely, but like because the other person who has the endorsement needs to be there. But yes, you can log the time for that complex airplane in your logbook. So he can also ask, we're gonna go to this one, which is the fourth question here. This is like what is the difference between a current and being proficient? So we're gonna, this is a commonly asked like one proficient. So a current only means that you have the minimum requirements in order to fly. Like you have done your flight review in last 24 months, and that's it. So you are basically, you are staying current. Proficient means like you are better equipped. You have the you are capable of conducting the flight with a high degree of competence. That's what the proficient means. So being current does not really mean that you are proficient in flying that airplane too. Okay, so does like now he can also ask about the checklist, right? Does they like the minimum checklist, do they reduce the risk, and like are they beneficial to have the checklist and all those things? So the answer is like you just want, he just gauging about uh, on your risk assessment, and your like are you trying like just making sure that you are not trying to be a macho, uh, and you need to like tell that uh, reducing risk is like um, is definitely you wanna have the checklists, and so basically checklist is an important thing, and it definitely reduces the risk because the pilots go with the by the numbers, and uh, like having a checklist ready is gonna reduce the risk of flying. Okay, then they can actually bring up some scenarios. The sixth one I wanted to cover is like they can say that okay, you wanted to fly on a plane, but then something went wrong with the plane, and you were they asked you uh, to fly another plane, and you weren't aware of the like you weren't very comfortable with the avionics of the new plane, and you were trying to go for a VFR flight. Should you go ahead, or should you just say that okay, I don't want to fly today, that kind of thing. So always tell like uh, safety is first, and if you're not aware of the avionics, don't hesitate saying that you're not comfortable flying with that plane. And so basically the pilot should not look upon unfamiliarity of the aircraft, right? So it happens whenever you're going to start flying new planes. The thing is gonna happen, so stay safe. Okay, the last thing in order to which kind of is gonna go in the same topic is like uh, the mailing address. So I don't know if you are aware of that, that being pilots, we need to inform the FAA for our permanent mailing addresses. So like whenever you move, you need to inform them. It's called it's actually the FAA Airman certification branch. So he can ask you how long you can fly without when the address changes. How long can you fly uh, without informing the FAA Airman certification branch that you have changed your address? So the answer to that question is 30 days. So you are supposed to tell them right away, but you can still fly within 30 days. You can fly that. And the last thing I wanted to cover is like what time you can log in as a second in command. So it's called SIC. This happens first of all, uh, like you have the thing is that so basically you are in a airplane, and you the first thing in order for you to log in as a second in command is that the plane you are flying has like it's not a one-man plane. Like the plane has the plane is qualified enough to have a person in command and a second in command. And so that is one thing. The other thing is that you need to have you need to have that rating in that particular category and class of the plane in order for you to be considered as second in command. So you are flying a plane, and like maybe it is instrument rated, but you are not instrument rated. You cannot actually log in second in command uh, while as an like for the instrument rating. As an instrument rating pilot, you cannot log that one. So basically it has 2 points. One is the plane is equipped, like plane is has the SIC, like the second in command requirement. The plane requires two people to be on the pilot, uh, like as a crew member, or yeah. And the other one is like you have that rating, and in that appropriate category and class, then you can log your time as second in command. Those were the questions I wanted to cover. Thanks for watching.